Hello, everybody. Welcome to this community meeting for Kubewarden. This is June 5th. It's been a while, no? It's been a month. We do these calls, as always, every month. I will be your host for this call. I'm Victor, one of the maintainers of the team. And today we have GsoC, also a maintainer.
Hello.
We have John.
Hi there.
And we have also Robert.
You forgot the CNCF disclaimer. This is a CNCF project. This is governed under CNCF rules of code of conduct for everybody here. So we have to say that on all recordings. Forgot, but we said it.
I totally forget, to be honest. Yeah, this is a recorded call. If you are not here with us, then you may be watching this in our channel later on. We have some meeting minutes, and we also have there some lists of things. And as usual, everybody is welcome to add topics there and come here and discuss them. Let me just share the screen. Okay, now you should be seeing the screen. So what do we have for today? We have the release of 125. We release monthly, so we have always something to talk about. And then we have the start of Google Summer of Code, which has just started officially on the 2nd of June, so 3 days ago. But yeah, for a week and a half, we were already working with our students. And apart from that, it's not on the list, but I was wondering, Robert, if now that we have you here, yeah, I think we are going to be present again in another Kubecon or so in the future.
Yes, I will be at Kubecon North America here in Atlanta in a few months. So I just wanted to ask the team, the community here, what do we want to do at Project Pavillion? What maintainers are offered? Obviously opportunities to speak. What do we want to speak to? Who do you want help delivering that stuff? So I don't. These questions don't need to be answered today, but something for our next meeting is, what do we want to do with our presence at KubeCon?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Well, I suppose it would be nice to contact with other policy engines and so on, no? And I'm reminding myself about the open reports, initiative. So we are part of openreports.io. Is that correct to say?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So maybe it would be a good idea to try to get in contact with these folks that are part of openreports.io and share some things there, and that would be a nice thing to start.
Okay.
But yeah, for sure, we can think of more things. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the usual thing, no, of talking with users and potential contributors and so on. It's always fun, but yeah, right now I'm a bit.
I would restructure that to say not Project Pavillion Atlanta, but KubeCon Atlanta, and then just say Project Pavillion maintainers tracks. Things along those lines, because we want to make sure that we can cover it. I'm here, I'll be representing the Helm project and Kubewarden. Who else? Right? Who else is going to be there to possibly support? We want to make sure that we're open to everyone in the community, but yet we're putting Kubewarden first.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Maybe we should raise this with the rest of the team. We can do that on Slack. I suppose the maintenance tracks are also super nice. And we maybe can talk about, I don't know how it is for maintenance talks. Do we get the possibility, for example, for a lightning talk or so if we are part of Project Pavillion?
Yes, we can put we do get I know we did it last year. I did the 5-minute lightning talk for Kubewarden. If you remember.
Yep.
So we will have to resubmit to that. So let's try to find all of our submit dates. And then what do we want to talk about? Who wants to build the content? Who's going to deliver it? And then I would like to make sure that we put we do as much as we physically can with the resources we have on site to make sure we get Kubewarden out there more.
That sounds good. Yeah, maybe we are lucky. And when is KubeCon Atlanta again? It's in November, no? If I remember correctly.
I don't know the exact dates. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking actually about the Google Summer of Code student. If we are lucky, and we are proficient, it may be that the student has become a contributor of Kubewarden and has achieved tasks and so on. So maybe he could just apply for making a lightning talk about his efforts as a contributor of Kubewarden. And I think that's great. I think it would be great for him. But yeah, I mean, it's too early in the process, for those kind of things.
It's too early, and that's a lot of pressure on someone new.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
I would be remiss if we put that. I would be remiss if we put that on someone new to a project like that. It would be. I would hate it if someone did that to me.
Yeah, totally. It's just the thought, that since Google Summer of Code is supposed to end by October, then maybe it could be a thing. But yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I cannot think of anything else to talk about Kubecon right now. I suppose we can just keep iterating, no, on iterating on this kind of topic.
Correct.
Okay, then let's move to, I was talking about Google Summer of Code. Let's talk about Google Summer of Code. So as you know already, we were selected by the organization on CNCF. And then after that, we got our project approved by the Google Summer of Code admins. And we got our student, one of the applicants approved, which means that we have one student, one mentee that we are mentoring, and he's working on the policy SDK for JavaScript. It's still early in the process, but yeah, here it is, just in case. It's this repo, of course, it's super early in the process, and we will need to work on it. So let's see how it goes. However it goes, it's always a good learning opportunity for everybody involved. And several of us are mentoring our mentee, so that's also fun. Okay, Robert, I see you. Maybe you're on mute.
I've done this with Google Summer Code with OpenSUSE. So if you guys need any assistance, if you guys haven't done it before, or you have questions, I'm more than happy to help with that.
That sounds great. Many thanks.
Hmm.
There's also, if you are listening to this and you have the possibility to become a mentor, maybe not in Kubewarden, but in other organizations, there's some channels that you can contact, for mentorship. There's a mailing list, and they have also a mentor summit that I don't know how it is, to be honest, but it would be nice to attend. Okay, and last but not least, we have Kubewarden topics for the release of 125. So here, see the release for 125. As usual, we release change logs. They are tied to the Helm charts, but normally we release also a blog post that states what happened also in the release. So what did we do in this 125 release? Maybe it was a bit shorter because we had less time and we were occupied with other things. And we had some time off, some of us, plus some meetups and so on. But we achieved quite the things. The first one is the priority class support. What are priority classes? Well, we can just have a look at the Kubernetes documentation. And basically, priority classes are a feature of pods where you just can specify it on pods, and it allows to prioritize some pods over the others. And you can do that by adding, first you need to define a priority class with a value. And with that, you have the priority class, that is going to be used and kind of like not binded, but used by other by pods. When you define priority classes, you can define them with a preemption policy. That would mean that by doing this, the pod would be never preempted from a node, if that's what you need. And all of this is done to ensure that important workloads, such as things for the Kubernetes cluster, like API services and so on, or in this case, a policy engine or an admission controller such as Kubewarden, doesn't get preempted, and it's always running, and it always has the resources that it's needed. So once you have the priority class defined, then on the spec of the pod, you would just add the priority class name and assign. Pick one of those name of a priority class that exists. I think more or less that's the gist of it. I don't know if I'm missing anything. For sure I'm missing things, but to provide a gist.
It's pretty much it. Yeah, it helps the control plane to decide which pod it can, should, and or can kill first. Yeah, basically that's the goal. Yeah.
Okay, and we did not, I mean, it was quite easy to add, no? But we did not have this so far, but now we have it on 125. And how does that work for us? Well, if we want to have priority class support for Kubewarden, then we need to first change the controller. So then the controller will create first the controller pods need to have a priority class defined, and that's going to happen in the Helm charts. And if I remember correctly, we did define it on the values.
Yeah, it's a global value.
And here it is. By default, they are not set, but you can just define
Yeah.
the priority class name. And then apart from that, no, it would be on the pods that the controller creates. So that would mean making changes into the controller. So then the pods, for example, for the policy server or the audit scanner, the audit scanner is also going to be part of the Helm chart somewhere. And it's going to be maybe Kubewarden defaults. I hope it's somewhere there.
It's in the global as well. Oh.
Yeah, there it is. It's been a while, it's been a month. I've forgotten what we did. Okay, and then we need to do it for the policy servers. The policy servers get created by the controller, which means that then one needs to define it on the policy server spec. And we do that by, we have added just a new spec field in the policy servers where you define the priority class name that you would like to use. Typical ones to use are, for example, system cluster critical or system node critical, I think it is, that are always present, and they are taken as things that come from that belong to the the Kubernetes resources for running the cluster. And apart from that, of course, we added documentation. You can see here, if you were to search for configuring policy servers and production deployments, we have the priority classes. And if you would like to look at general things not on policy servers, so the controller and so on, if you go to how-to's production deployments, you're going to have the tolerations, affinity, and then configuring the priority classes for the controller and the audit scanner. And we provide some examples of the priority class names that you can take.
And the global means that if you set that, you'll be used for everything, like the controller, the audit scanner, and the full policy server in the Helm charts. So
yeah, good point.
We don't need to set that individually for each one.
So then all the values of the Helm charts can be merged, no? And have one file.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is not all about priority classes, correct? Because I think we also did a policy.
Yeah. I think I don't remember when we finished that, but this is in the same like cycle or discussions about priority classes. So we wrote a new policy which basically will allow you to enforce some rules around policy classes, priority classes in workload resources. So basically, the policy has a list of allowed priority classes that the resource can use. If it's not using some of them, the resource will be rejected, otherwise it will be applied, and that's it. It's a pretty simple one, just to ensure that the cluster user will use the proper classes available, and that's it.
Sounds good. This policy was written in Rust, which is, I mean, it's something nice for us, I suppose. I see also here in the README that we provide an example using a namespace selector.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one example, because sometimes you just want to enforce specific classes and specific namespaces for whatever reason. So this is our this is not new. We already use that we already available in the policies specification, but this allows cluster operators to just, this policy will be applied for only these namespaces, for instance, or yeah, you can do different operators in the match expression, but in this case, it's just we would like to avoid, we would do to enforce these three priority classes only for two namespaces. So that's make the trick. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Nice policy to have. I forgot to show it on Artifact Hub. So let me just open it. Maybe I can find, yes. Here it is, priority class policy. As usual, marked as coming from CNCF and signed and verified publisher and so on. Pretty new one. But yeah. Okay, more things on the 125 release. We have talked about priority classes. Oh yes, we also did quite the refactor, no, for GitHub Actions in general. Yeah, maybe just say I'm thinking about the issue that I think I preemptively opened here. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but this was already listing the things, but before that, no, we did kind of like a review, like a security review of all the GitHub issues.
Yeah, this is in a comment in this issue. You can go
Oh,
down.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that one. Yeah, basically we get all our GitHub action that we use and decided to just keep the ones that well maintained or maintained by our organization, and go away from GitHub actions that are maintained by one individual, or there are two out of date or is not getting update frequently, so just for security reasons. So basically we replace bunch of them by other ones which will well maintain, or by just simply using some CLI tool in the step, and that's it. Nothing too fancy. And now we finished that during the 125 cycle. So that's the issue that keeps track of all of them.
Quite the change. Yeah, as you were saying, some of them are somewhat drop-in replacement,
Yeah.
or just using directly the CLI provided. Some others were a bit more complicated. I'm thinking about, I don't know. How, for example, I don't remember the cargo generate one.
Yeah, the cargo generator, I don't remember, but one is not that, is more convoluted, I would say, is the GitHub one, because GitHub pages one, because we would like to just use GitHub commands and this kind and other GitHub actions, which change a little bit how we deploy the pages in some repositories, but I think that's fine. It's not a big deal. Yeah, and it's more secure, well maintained, so that's nice.
Yep. I'm also thinking about the ones about the repository dispatch for the create pull request, no? Which we did use the GitHub CLI.
Yeah.
Robert, I see that maybe you're on mute.
No, I'm good. I have gum in my mouth.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, I was thinking about the GitHub Actions ones and so on. And yeah, we just use the GitHub Actions CLI. And we also moved to using a GitHub Actions application, no, for obtaining the tokens and so on, which is also a nice thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And that reminds me that at some point we needed to release the GitHub Actions. We needed several releases of the GitHub Actions, our GitHub Actions that have the reusable workflows that can be used by external users that are building their own Kubewarden policies. I'm thinking about the changing how the SBOM works for Rigo and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, What else? Yes, apart from that, we had some changes on the Rust repositories because we set up the Rust toolchain on the Rust repositories, if I remember correctly. Maybe I did.
We added that for all of our Rust repos: policy fetcher, policy server, policy server, kwctl. All of them have the Rust toolchain. Yeah.
That's
This is
nice.
necessary to remove some of the actions as well. So
That's nice. Now I wonder, for policy server, I think we only build for Linux, no, and AMD and ARM. I don't remember about kubectl because, yeah, you can see for
we built
kubectl.
for Windows. Yes.
Yeah, this is nice. And this way, no, if one is contributing and so on, it's maybe easier to see how the toolchain, what the toolchain, the needed toolchain is.
Yeah, indeed.
And we were talking about maybe making a monorepo also with, for example,
Yeah.
only the Rust code and so on.
Yeah. Maybe that's gonna happen soon. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe it simplifies things, no?
Yeah. Yeah. The dependency between our code will be way, way easier to release at least. Yeah.
Yes, let's see. If anybody of you is listening to this kind of talk and has any suggestions or thoughts, yeah, you're welcome to join on Kubewarden Dev. What else? Oh yeah, we got some enhancements from community members. So, for example, for the KWCTL tool on the latest release, we got this enhancement for the 125, and now one doesn't need to specify the registry prefix, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
from when doing a KWCTL pull.
Exactly.
This is going to be part, of course, of the
And
change
that
log.
was the last command that was missing that. So we now all the commands will be able to handle if you forgot to add the prefix. So yeah.
Yeah, this is nice. Many thanks, and we hope that you had fun contributing these kind of things to Kubewarden. This goes to Manu Kirat. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the contribution.
Yes. And maybe with that, we have everything that we wanted to talk today. Let me just have a check onto the blog. Super fast. But yeah, for 125, maybe that was it. Yep.
Maybe we can mention our last blog post that I remember like just now about if
yes.
you are using Kubewarden and consider to be added as an adopter, even you don't want to be public, private adopters are helpful for us for now because we would like to move in the CNCF path. So that will happen if you are listed as adopter. So consider to do that thing.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, more adopters only makes things go smoother and faster, and that allows us to maintain no Kubewarden easier. So totally. And if I remember correctly, if one is listed as a Kubewarden private adopter, then no information of the adoption and so on gets shared with the public. It needs to be shared with CNCF. I don't know to what extent, but yeah, that's it. So it's somewhat private.
Yeah. And you can always ping us. We will answer your question or look for someone who can answer it. So
yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. So with that said, maybe we are done with the listed topics. Does anybody here have any other topics that they would like to talk about? Then maybe that's it. Guys and folks listening to us on remote, thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. Until the next time. Ciao.
You guys. Bye.
Bye.